When the stars align, the rights shall come to bear. Illuminate the signs, the exiles shall be there. All are not the same, but three shall be as one. Freedom in the flame, the end has just begun. Strands may break along.
Hey everybody, it's Boss Barrel Radio for August, the week of whatever, who knows. I am Griff Hoffman, and with me is Jeff Brewer.
Hello.
Speak slowly. James Scherer.
Hello.
Speak faster.
There. Hello there.
Okay, good. Check. Audio checks done, in place.
Check, check. 1, 2. Check, check.
I have a strange problem where my audio has been cutting out for the first time. So now I have to
Now the master
talk
has become the student.
very slowly.
And this is a big problem when we're playing Overwatch, because Jeff will be like, Jamie, we're about to win the match, but I have to tell you, there's a diva hiding on the... And then nothing.
I preface
One
every
critical secret to complete
every
this match of Overwatch.
communication with Jamie starts with, Jamie, we're winning the match, but I have to tell you.
Behind D.
There's a McCree hiding in the... And then just nothing.
But what I'm actually doing is just yelling frags over and over again. Frags! 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 Also,
Or if you're...
yeah, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say, or you can be my cousin Jesse, who we also have been playing with, who plays with Pyre, and types KYS into the general chat.
Yep. Do you think the reason he didn't answer back to you is because he's banned from Overwatch? Is that why he started playing Path
No,
of
it's
Exile?
because he was completely obsessed with Path of Exile.
He also played with a friend of his who's also a doctor, and that friend was on the voice chat and said, I think one thing each night.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're very sociable humans.
Speaking of being a doctor, Jamie,
Whoa.
Yes?
I have a question for you as a doctor.
You should get that lump checked out.
Not me as a doctor, but since you're a doctor. And by no means is this medical advice like, binding or whatever. How would I know if I had Lyme disease?
You would know if you had Lyme disease if you got... Like, you would know, like 100%, if you had a targetoid rash on your leg or whatever.
Did you just...
and
hold the
then
phone.
You
Wait.
had, like...
Hold on. Did you just say targetoid?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. just making sure that happened. Carry on.
Yeah.
Like the kind you get at
So
Target.
you'd have a bullseye rash on your leg.
Okay.
Or something like that. And, like, you were having fever or something, and then you went to an ER and they took titers, and you had a ton of it.
Ain't nobody
in your
gonna
blood.
take my titers.
But, like, chronic Lyme is very much a hot topic these days. That is all bullshit. There's no such thing. There's no such entity as chronic Lyme. All the recent research points to the fact that there is no chronic Lyme, and there's no reason for people to be put on, harsh antibiotics.
Is that
for
kind
this
of thing
entity
where
that doesn't exist?
somebody kind of like some parent thinks their kid has Lyme disease and they've had it for like 18 months, and it's because they're not doing well in school, and they then try and treat it. Is that what chronic Lyme is?
Isn't it the
I
case?
think that it's just there's a lot of subclinical stuff that doctors have a hard time explaining to patients, because a lot of this subclinical stuff could have 1,000 different reasons for existing. Like, you could have on and off, like, arthritis-esque symptoms, or on and off lower limb, like, neurological symptoms because of slight subclinical autoimmune disease or viral infections. And it's hard to say to someone, this is a problem, there's no way to fix it, and it could be any of these causes, and there's no answer. People like answers. So when bullshit artists come out and say, like, oh, chronic Lyme is a thing and everyone should be on doxycycline for years to cure it, I feel like that's a very compelling thing to a parent or anyone who's having, like, chronic arthritis at an early age or something, and they just want an answer. But it's not a real entity, and the people, everyone is seropositive for Lyme. We probably all have Lyme or have had Lyme, but that doesn't mean that our arthritis, our knee problems, or our lower limb neurological problems are due to that. It's a very complicated thing.
What if the Lyme tick gave me gluten intolerance?
Exactly.
Isn't there actually
That's 100% real.
that can do that?
Infections can do that for sure.
Oh.
Any infection can do
Griffin.
that type of thing.
Well,
Big
of course.
Pharma.
I was just asking that leading
Big
question,
Pharma,
knowing
Griffin.
that that's the answer.
It's funny because, yes, that can happen, but again, it's the kind of thing that's going to happen so rarely. So more often it's just going to be someone who's searching for an excuse to say they're gluten insensitive.
What if the Lyme tick bit me and then my superpower was I'm an asshole at restaurants?
That happens too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you had untreated Lyme disease for 18 months, couldn't that like super fuck you up?
Untreated Lyme disease will probably clear on its own.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, as will the vast majority of infections.
What if I had a very clear bullseye-style bruise? It wasn't a rash. It was just like very much like a bruise that kind of melted away over the course of a couple weeks. But it was like a bite and a bullseye around it. But I never felt barfy. Am I gonna die?
Yes.
Okay.
I think. Wait, when did this happen?
Last month-ish.
So you should probably go to your doctor and tell them that.
That sounds lame. You just told me I'm fine.
But you should go and get your blood taken, and then they can tell you.
They're not gonna take
If
my
you-
blood. If my typhies, or whatever you said.
Your type
They can tell you because you might have I don't know. You feel fine?
Feel great. Never felt better.
I would still go.
The bugs are in my brain.
If
They're
it
inside you.
doesn't clear up on its own, can it cause neurological damage if untreated?
Yes,
Yeah,
in
that's what I
very
thought.
specific ways that are very identifiable.
Okay.
Like Bell's palsy is something that can happen. That's a very specific thing. It's not. Doctors are trained to know and see the actual things that Lyme can cause, but now there's this pervasive thought in culture that like your chronic Lyme disease is causing you to hate your children, and it's like that's not correct.
Postpartum Lyme disease depression.
Are you telling me I have to tell little Sammy that he's just a bad boy who
Are you
deserves
telling me
mommy's
that
rage?
this Lyme disease that I have is making me gamble all the time?
Yes.
Okay.
Jamie, would you
Yes.
say that toxoplasmosis is a form of mind control?
Yes, I would say that. I firmly believe that.
That all my cats gave to me?
That explains my condition where I just want to walk into thick forests now.
And just pee near rats, right? Like
Yeah.
you just have an uncontrollable urge to pee near rats.
What, is that what Lyme ticks are into? Because the Lyme tick bit me and now I just want to walk into forests.
Was it a big tick? Did you pull the tick off your body?
No,
or did
there was no tick. It was just a bruise.
It was just a bruise. Did it have like an inner redness and then like a little bit of normal skin and then an outer redness?
It was like a very small nipple and then like a red ring around it, but then the red ring turned yellow in like a couple days.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Sounds like I got superpowers.
Yeah, I think so. You're the next Spider-Man.
Tick
Yeah.
guy.
It holds up. I give it my
I'm not
stamp of
worried.
approval as a non-scientist, non-doctor, non-anything.
But you will be soon. You'll be a clinician.
Mm-hmm. So I'll be able to go on television and talk about how ADHD doesn't exist.
Exactly.
Oh, you could be like a Dr. Oz?
Noted social worker Jeffrey Brewer says that ADHD isn't a thing. And the New York Post runs with it. As in a thing that happens all the time.
Speaking of mental illness,
Oh,
I played-
shit. He did it.
I played
We're in video game land
Hellblade
now.
Senua's Sacrifice. Did you play it, Griff?
I did.
How far did you get in this video game called Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice for both the personal computer and the PlayStation 4 system?
Well, let me paint you a little picture before I start talking about the game. So something funky has been going on since Hunter locked my account down, where I can't purchase any games, and then I have to call up PlayStation and make sure that everything is okay, and they tell me it's fine. And then about a day later, everything is fine, I can purchase things again. But I wanted to play Heckblade, and I couldn't
Glad you're
purchase
keeping
it.
this podcast Christian.
Yeah, exactly.
Heckblade is the Midwestern version of Hellblade.
Oh,
Where
heck.
you just
I done
play,
seen
it's like
Visions
Fargo,
again.
but it's
It's SimCity, but it's only one house. It's kind of weird. So I went to Amazon, and thanks to you, Jamie, for getting me that next. What was it? The game you got for me for my birthday.
Oh yeah, Next Machina.
Next Machina. I had to go through the trials and tribulations of figuring out how to load something purchased on Amazon into a PlayStation. So I just purchased Heckblade.
Did you print out the piece of paper and try to stick it into the CD drive?
Yes, I did. It gobbled it up, so it's just working fine now. So I started that. I downloaded it, and I got to the portion where the credits said lead designer so and so, and I was on a tree.
I'm sorry, what?
And that you stopped. You just turned you turned it off and threw the PlayStation out the window or something.
Yeah, well, yeah. I had to stop the PlayStation and shake the paper out of it to eject the disc, and we're good. I
Gotcha.
played almost nothing of it, except that it just looks very pretty, except for the water effects.
Yeah, I think that character model is the most striking character model I've ever seen. And this is coming off of, I thought that some of the character models, like the girlfriend in Resident Evil 7, I thought she looked incredible. And this just, like, I loaded up this game, and I was just staring at her arm for, like, a solid 2 minutes. And I was like, that arm looks like an arm. It looks like skin.
Did you achieve completion?
It's so soft. Yes, I did. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, you're welcome.
The time that you spent staring at it is like 1/30th of a Game of Thrones episode.
I was going to say, how did you still manage to stare at that arm for 6 minutes and then watch an entire season of Game of Thrones in one evening?
ADD. ADD really does wonders for...
Even though it doesn't exist, it does wonders.
Yeah, exactly. No, this game is really cool. It makes a big stink out of the fact that they take psychosis and schizophrenia very seriously. The main character is experiencing psychosis during the game, and she's hearing voices and seeing hallucinations. And something that's really cool, as someone who works with people who are schizophrenic, I've been fortunate enough to like dig down and spend time asking them, when you're hearing voices, what exactly are they saying? What do they sound like? Are they people you know? Are they people you don't know? Are they demeaning? Are they uplifting? When you see visions, like, what are they? Are they shadows? Are they hellish? And a lot of the things that my patients have told me over the years are pretty much mirrored in this game. Sometimes eerily so. Like, I see things. The title character in this game will see things, especially the visual hallucinations she experiences. In terms of the way it plays with light and dark, really mirrors things that my patients have told me, and it's kind of striking and terrifying to see what they might be seeing in this game. And they had a whole team of mental health experts. I believe it was 6 people at an institute somewhere, helping them really make sure that their depiction of psychosis was correct.
Dr. Phil.
And it's it's really cool. Really, really cool. But it's a walking sim, and the combat is it really fell flat for me. I don't know if it's going to pick up. I'm very early in the game.
Did you get to a boss fight at all?
I haven't gotten to a boss fight yet.
I
and
hear
I
that's
did
kind of
hear
where the pace changes.
Yeah, but fighting the grunts so far, it's really uninspired, like the lowest possible level rip-off of like a Dark Souls, but not that difficult. And I really hope it picks up, because the like walking sim aspect of it, and it truly is that. You are walking forward and things will happen to you. That's fine. I love games like that.
Is there a run button?
There is a run button.
So it's not a walking simulator, is it?
Damn it, you got me.
Quit the podcast.
But I think that because of everything else it's doing, it's still worth playing, and I'm definitely going to see it through to the end.
Yeah.
That's exciting. I'm glad to hear that they did a good job on the depiction, because I felt like working in mental health world, if they fuck that up, I would be really distracted. So I'm kind of back after you say that.
Yeah, I mean the voices stuff. She seems way too. I mean, not to go too deep, but a lot of my patients are pretty good at figuring out when the voices are real and when they're not. And they're not necessarily frightened by them, especially if this is something they've been dealing with for years. This could be some like new onset psychosis that Senua is experiencing because of some trauma, but she does seem fairly distracted and frightened by these voices. So I'm not. The voices part is a little, but the actual content of the voices and what they're saying does mirror what I've heard patients.
Do you know why
tell me.
she's so distracted? Because she's
Why?
a lady, and genetically, that's how it works. Their uteruses make
interesting.
them more neurotic.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Maybe
I've
she
read
needs
about
some,
this.
Yeah.
like, what is it? Laudanum? Calm it down a bit.
Sex therapy.
Yes.
Okay.
What did they used to
Yeah.
call the vibrators that they would use on the ladies? They had
Oh,
some
I don't
name
know.
for them. Good times.
I don't know.
Let's call it the Hellblade.
So how far along are you, Jamie? Have you? So you haven't fought a boss yet. So you've just maybe gotten like an hour or so in, or something.
Yeah,
or?
I'm like an hour in, and
Okay.
and that's an hour where like I spent too much time taking pictures and staring at the character model.
Jamie, are you playing on PC or are you playing on PS4?
I'm playing on my brand new water cooled PC.
Nice.
Subsurface scattering, bitches.
Totally.
That's
I don't
that's
know what
makes
that
this
means.
that's like the next big thing. Like I wouldn't be surprised if in press conferences and so on we start hearing that term more and more. That makes skin look real, and it also just brings computers to its knees.
I don't care. I just want to. I'm waiting for when the skin feels real.
I'm looking for someone that'll bring me to my knees in a video game. Once that happens, I'll know we're good. If I can turn it off and be like, oh yeah, I'm going down.
But the visual stuff, like I said, so striking because a lot of the times when patients tell me that they're seeing things, they describe them in terms of light and shadow. There's a lot of shadows, and they really do that well here.
So if I turn the shadows off to reduce the burden, I'm not going to really.
Yeah, exactly. Don't do that.
Okay.
So we need to have high resolution shadows, is what I'm hearing.
Okay.
Because those
you
really also
need a
bring
water cooled
to
system
its
for
knees.
that.
Okay. I'll pour
I'm
the
just-
water right into my PS4.
I'm just trying to put someone on their knees here. That's all I'm trying to do. So if high res shadows will get the job done, then I'm good for it.
Oddly enough, the reason why this is all happening, she had chronic Lyme disease.
She
I've heard of that before.
She ate a piece of Wonder Bread, and then her,
Yeah.
what is it called? Not celiac disease set in, and now she's just tripping
I
balls.
like celiac disease, though. That's a good one.
If only she'd eaten celeriac, this wouldn't have happened. She would be fine.
I hear that if you eat celeriac, it's actually you burn more calories eating it than it takes to actually consume it. So it's very good for you.
Is that true?
Celeriac, absolutely.
I mean, what if you put oil and shit into it?
If you dip it with ranch in your celeriac, yeah, you're fucked.
That sounds a little bit too cute to be true, or to
Did
be
you guys ever
usefully
hear?
true.
Did you ever hear about this? Okay, wings eating. You guys ever eat wings? I know we've not Domino's wings, but real wings.
There is another kind.
Yeah, like wings that aren't delivered to you.
You mean?
I don't
go
understand.
to the Domino's restaurant and you get the wings there.
There's
a couple tables there.
you drive to a location and you sit down and you order wings.
Yeah, from the Domino's
And
counter.
it's not
and
your
then
house.
You eat
Oh,
something
this
at
must
the
be
Domino's
this must be a
restaurant.
Midwest thing.
Buffalo Wild
It's not a
Wings?
friend's house either. Well, unless you're friends with the owner of the wings place, and they live there.
Yes, we've had wings. What
Okay. Okay, good. So when they bring out the dressings, like the sides, like the whatever, dip and sauces you get with your wings. Okay, so here let me set the scene. You guys go to the Buffalo Wild Wings, you sit down and the bartender's like, "Hey guys, thanks for coming. Everything on tap is gone, so sucks to be you. Anyway, what would you like to eat?" And you both are like, "Wings." You order wings, and then he's like, "Okay, and what would you like for your sides? Now go."
You're talking about the sauce, the dipping sauces?
Yeah.
blue cheese.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a fucking monster.
Blue cheese as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, good. We're on the same boat there. Now, they bring the blue cheese is out with the wings, and then they sit them down in front of you, and I don't know if you do boneless or bone-in or whatever. That's not the point. The question is, now, how do you address the dressings?
I don't understand what you mean.
At what point do you
I kowtow
consume...
to them first. I'm very polite. And I say, thank you,
So
Jesus,
respectful.
for our daily bread.
I find that you
And
need to
go from
avoid
there.
eye contact, or else the dressings are liable to turn on you.
When they bring the food to you, what do you use the dressing for, and how do you use it?
You mean
I
like
usually
You
take
went
the
to a room.
dressing.
There are some wings on the table with some dressings on the side and some celery and some carrots. What
is
do
the
you
door
do?
locked? Wait, is the door
Okay.
locked?
Roll for initiative.
I take a straw and I just slurp up all the dressing.
There were no straws in the room.
What I like to do is I just take the dressing cup, I pull my shirt up, and I just anoint each of my nipples with like a little bit of dressing.
Would it be anointing with blue cheese? Is there oil in it? Probably, right? No,
I
but
just
seriously.
dip my wing into it. I don't understand this question.
Yeah, you take the wing, you dip it in, and
You
then
dip
you put the wing up.
okay,
up
that's
the
what I
bum.
want to get to.
Do you mean like, do I
dip
take the dressing
wings
and
into
convey
the
it?
sauce? Huh?
No, you don't put the dressing on the wing. That's just awful.
What are you talking about?
What?
Of course
What-
you do that.
No, like you don't scoop the dressing out and put it on unless you're at the very bottom of the cup and you can't dip it anymore.
Yeah, you take the wing and you put the wing into the dressing. And
Correct.
if someone's like, "Ugh, I don't want to do that. You can't double dip," then you just say, "Shut up."
Yeah, and then you
You
kick them out of
slap
the
'em.
restaurant.
Interesting. Okay, so that's fascinating.
So what do you do? What do people do in the Midwest where wings were invented?
Well, this is where I just assumed you folks of the Ivory Tower East Coast would be eating wings the proper way,
With a
and
knife
not
and fork?
not the Neanderthal peasant way of the Midwest, where you just jam the wing into the trough of mayonnaise dressing, which is what most folks do here. I thought that the proper way was you eat the wings, and then you use the celery and or carrots to cleanse the palate in between wings. So you
What the
scoop out the
fuck?
dressing. So this is kind of like what I'm adopting. I'm also trying to adopt like left-handed eating.
What the fuck is going on, Griffin?
You take you eat the wing. You don't dip it in anything. You just eat it, and then you're like, I would like some blue cheese. So you take a celery and you dip it in the sauce. And
So
then
if you
eat the
have
celery or
if you have
carrot
extra
that
blue
has sauce on it.
extra blue cheese
I don't know
and
who's
extra
craziest,
sauce,
Senua or you.
yeah, if you have extra blue cheese and extra sauce, you take the celery, or not, you scoop up the sauce, like the buffalo sauce or the sweet chili sauce, off your plate, and then you dip that shit into the blue cheese and eat it, and it has a satisfying crunch.
Huh.
Yeah, so that's how you do it. You're a monster.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Well,
This Midwest culture is just. Now I know why we segregate ourselves from you.
it's the flyover state because we fly the wings over the sauce into our mouths, and then use the vegetables to dip into the sauce.
How
Listen.
the hell did we get on this subject?
I think you're a bad man, Griffin, but I'm sure I'm going to hear about this in a country song next week. I don't know how we got on this. What does this have to do with Senua?
I think we were talking about Senua, and then Griffin just started talking about wings.
Yeah, it tends to happen.
All right.
What video games did you guys play in the recent past?
I played some Overwatch with you, Jamie, which we already talked about, but that game's still pretty good.
Not
Still.
just pretty good. That game's like incredible, and I'm
Yes.
constantly amazed at how long legs that game has, and how much fun we're having playing it, and how I can't stop thinking about it. More than a year after it came out, more than a year ago, right? It's old.
Yeah, it's pretty old. I
Was it
will
March
never
last year, yeah?
move beyond those two characters that I play.
Who are you playing as, Jeff?
Soldier 76 and Lucio. Those
Nice.
are the only two. The problem is I don't ever practice it on my own, so I will never be like good with other characters, and I don't want to learn them on the fly. So,
Gotcha.
yeah, I'm just stuck with those two. But it's still real fun, and the new characters slot in pretty nicely.
And
That you don't play.
Yes.
Okay.
surprisingly, I'm amazed at how few times I'm in a match and hear something truly awful, like in terms of people being racist or sexist. Like, that just doesn't happen that frequently.
Do you play competitive when we're not playing together?
No, but I want to start, actually. I'm curious.
Okay, because I think that's where you'll find that.
Jamie, what's your main in Overwatch?
I don't know, Jeff. What's my main?
I don't know. Who do you play a lot of? You play Bastion, Mercy.
When stuff starts going down, dirty, who's your, like, okay, it's go time?
If we're on defense, it'll be Bastion. Or maybe if we're on offense and the team needs a little pick-me-up, maybe I'll
It'll
switch
also
to...
be Bastion.
It'll be Lucio or Mercy. I like healing.
Yeah, you do like healing. You've done some
trying-
Junkrat, or you tried to do some Junkrat.
Yeah, Junkrat's good. I have good matches and bad matches with him. I like Reinhardt now. I like Farah. There's a couple people. I like the sniper healer. She's pretty cool, and that's kind of unique.
Okay, yeah.
She's hard. Yeah, I'm not good at her. But
I did have
yeah.
plenty of those upgrade characters or those new characters, so like Farah or the tank thing.
I was surprisingly
the
effective
tech
Arisa or whatever.
as the hacker girl. I like her because it's actually pretty easy to be effective with her, because hacking other players just means they can't use their abilities, and if you can't use your abilities in Overwatch, you're useless. So it's easy to fuck shit up with her in a firefight.
Not played her at all.
What?
I have not even chosen her before.
Orisa is the new
there we go, yeah.
new tank. She's cool. She's pretty easy. She has a shield that you can deploy, unlike Reinhardt, who carries his shield. And then there's this new Doomfist guy who is hilarious, and he jumps up into the air and then he kind of flies around and then crashes down. And if you're good at him, it's really kind of impressive to watch him just like massacre people, slamming down on them from above. It's really cool.
Yeah.
His design really makes me angry because it falls into the trap of like the Ghost in the Shell syndrome, or not syndrome, but thesis that if you have a very, very super strong arm, it's only as good as the shoulder and joint that it's connected to. So this guy has like a power arm, right? But it's still just like fastened to his body.
He's got some like bulk going on that shoulder.
Yeah, but like it's still only so good as like you can't punch you could punch a car, but you may put a dent in it. You're not going to like upheave the car off the street. You can't create that kind of leverage with flesh body.
You have not seen this guy's pelvic girdle. It is off the chain.
I watched the video, specifically Overwatch pelvic girdle, and it was nothing to be impressed with.
That's funny. I've got that open in incognito right now. I'm going to be returning to it after we're done here.
Is that why the audio is so bad? Too many incognito tabs open?
Probably, yeah. I forgot to close out of my torrents. What was I going to say about him? I don't even remember. He's cool because he's very movement based. He is tough to be good at, but he has an awesome flow to him. And there are players who are either tearing shit up with him and like getting the drop on you, or just being hilarious and easy targets. And I love both of those.
a lot of charging into the shit and dying.
Yes,
with him.
Which makes me feel better about myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, it remains fun. I'm sensing there'll be a bit of a renaissance where we play a whole bunch more.
Yeah.
Do you guys
I
think there's
going to
be? Is there another patch on the way with new characters, or do you think it's going to be the next 2018 will be Overwatch 2?
Well, there's. I don't think so. I think they're going to slowly add stuff for a very long time with this game. So, for example, they're putting deathmatch into this game, which I guess we could talk about during the news, but I'm just going to talk about it now. They're going to put that in, which will shake things up a lot. And I feel like they're just going to keep adding new characters, keep tweaking characters, keep putting in extra fun games. Like we played Lucio Ball a little bit this week. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Basically, like kind of shitty Rocket League.
Yep,
but,
that's how I would describe it.
But good.
Yeah.
Still good somehow.
I think they're just going to keep selling loot boxes. That's a pretty dang lucrative business for them, sadly enough.
Yeah. Yep.
Just got to get that hot Widowmaker skin.
Nice.
Just work the pole. People are still over the moon with it. Like I don't think it shows any signs of slowing down. It's
even
still
with
very
PUBG.
Popular.
Even with PUBG out, it's you don't really wait any longer to find a game or anything, which is nice.
Huh. Well, I'm guessing it serves two different audiences in that respect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's some definite overlap, but yeah, I guess I would agree with that. So yeah, it's still great. But what else have I been checking out? Unless you have more thoughts on Overwatch, Jamie.
No.
Okay. I played more Final Fantasy XII. I don't need to talk too much about it. I advanced the story quite a bit. The world kind of opened up to me with lots of different hunts to do, and I just felt overwhelmed. And I have stepped back. But I think I'm about halfway through at this point. It's getting to a point where yeah, it's just, there's a lot that I can do, and a lot of it's hard, and the level of granularity that I think I would have to do of tweaking in order to overcome things at my current level is more than I want to deal with, so I just put that down for a little while. It's still fun, though. I just have nothing more to add on that. And like Jamie, I started playing the Sexy Brutale. And my first reaction to that game, when I initially started, I was very disoriented, and I kind of didn't like it very much. It just, like, there's a lot of, like, loud music that's constantly playing, and and stuff is, like, constantly moving, and I felt like it was moving too quickly, and I felt like I didn't have enough time, and I couldn't, like, take in the world. As I've played a little more of it, I've gotten kind of used to its flow, and I also turned down the music volume, and it's pretty cool. I guess what I'm asking you, Jamie, because I'm not too far, is does the story become more coherent as you get farther? Because there's a lot of stuff, and it seems really cool, but it also seems very bare bones in terms of, like, what they're giving you. And I'm wondering if it all comes together.
I think that the story is strongest viewed from afar. So you're exactly right. Like, they're not going to explain. I mean, there's a lot of magical realism. There's a lot of mysticism. I did find that the storylines so you're trying to save the lives of these guests in this hotel, and I found that a lot of their storylines for the characters that you encounter later on are a little bit richer and a little bit more three-dimensional, but still not necessarily as fleshed out as I might like. But I think if you look at the game as a whole, and you kind of see each of those characters
as part of a bigger whole,
playing a loop in this Clockwork Mansion, then I think that's a much richer and more rewarding story than any individual.
Yeah, and I don't need the individual stories to be rewarding per se. I just want them to be coherent. Like, as it stands right now, I just did the one with the person and the bell. You remember that one?
Yeah.
It's like the third one. And I was just very confused about what was happening.
Yeah, me too. That one in particular is kind of odd.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Jamie is right. Like, so all the murders are happening all at once, and it's cool because, like, you'll hear someone being shot, and that'll happen at the same time every day, and the characters will react to that. So, like, all the murders are just always happening at the same exact time, and they're changing the entire mansion. Like, the power goes out for a second, and clearly that's related to one of the murders that I haven't seen yet. There's a gunshot that goes off in the middle of the day, and the sound of breaking glass, and having all that stuff happening ambiently while you're working on one individual person is pretty cool, I've got to say.
Yeah.
I do like that. But yeah, my main kind of concern is as, like, more depth and complexity are added to the world, I want the Clockwork Mansion to make sense, like, as a whole unit. I don't care about the characters because they're just there. But I want, like, what I am seeing to have some explanation behind it. Like, I don't need to know why mystical things are happening. I just need to know who's setting them in action and, like, why this person's being killed here. You know, like, does that become clear or no?
I think it becomes more clear, and I think as you play the game more, you'll get a broader sense of what's happening. I mean, the story, in broad terms, and the motivations for the bad guy, I think are very cool and unique, maybe a little convoluted, maybe not as well thought out as I would have liked, but in broad strokes, I think it's a very effective story, and the more that you learn and the more that you play, the more you'll be drawn in, and then I think that the ending is truly rewarding and interesting.
Okay. Yeah, because I just finished Bell Lady, and I got a cool new power, which, like, excited me because it's interesting, but it also made me wonder if the game was going to be up to the task of explaining all of these disparate moving parts. Because there seem to be a lot of them.
Yeah. There is an overarching kind of logic to it, but I don't know if it'll satisfy you in the end. But there is an attempt made to explain why what is happening is happening.
Okay. Bless you.
Bless you.
Thanks.
And I'm excited for the puzzles to ramp up a little more in complexity because it definitely starts pretty easy.
Yeah, I wish that the game were a little harder. I hope that.
Bless you.
I'm sorry, Griff. That's a funny
shit.
scene.
That picked up. I turned my mixer's power off when I sneezed. That's crazy.
Your mixer just wanted us to hear it.
You heard it from across the states. God, my allergies are just blowing up. Sorry.
It's okay. Mine too, man. It's rough out there. We were
very
both doing
hot up here,
dad
that's all.
lawn stuff.
Yeah, you were. So much ragweed.
So much. So, Jeff, while Griff is sneezing his brains out,
I wish I could turn this off.
No, it's good. What did you think of the Destiny 2 demo that we played?
I
played that game too.
Did you play the same one that we did, Griff? It's like an alpha, beta, gamma, like the one where you have to fight the big giant robot dude.
Destiny 2 beta.
Aren't there multiple ones though? Isn't there like a closed and like a super closed and a semi-closed and a
Destiny 2
concave
beta.
and a convex?
I played the one where you start the game and you pick your class, and the class gets blown up, or the place gets blown up, and then you run through it.
Okay, same one. Yeah, it's a pretty cool scripted mission. Props for that.
I played it twice.
Nice. The mission?
Yeah, sorry for the sniffles again. God,
That's
I don't
okay.
know what happened. Just rubbed my eyes once, and now I'm going to die. Yeah, so I played it as well. I played Destiny 2, the beta thingy, whatever you guys played, and essentially it feels like the starting mission, where it's kind of like the intro, kind of like when you played in Destiny 1. And I chose my class. Well, which one did you choose, Jeff, to start with?
I don't remember.
I chose the defense man.
I think I just chose the regular ass dude. No. Wait, I chose the roguish dude. I think.
Okay, the guy with the golden pistol.
Yes, the man with the golden gun. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
That's what I'm going to call him.
Scaramanga.
Sure.
I chose the Titan, I think is the name, and that's like the defense guy.
Yes, he has like a cool jump thing, right?
He does. He has the cool jump thing from the previous game, and it took me the longest time to figure out is how to actually use his cool ability. I think the game does a really bad job explaining that, like, there's the two different ability paths that you can have. So pick the
you
one
can
that you
swap
want to
them.
do.
Yeah,
It kind of relies upon your knowledge of the previous game to
Exactly,
do those to kind of understand the skill trees and stuff. But so yeah, I thought it was really cool. Just like you said, it was like a cool intro. It's fun where you walk into like the armory and they're like, pick up your fucking cool gun, guy, and then you get a random legendary weapon that's really sweet.
Yeah, no, I was into that for sure. What I hated was the story. I hated it so much.
Okay.
The confrontation with that villain where he is like keeps throwing you and then kicks you off the edge felt so dumb. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter because it's an MMO, but it was really bad.
You're right. There's no great shakes in storytelling in that.
No.
Very obvious big hits of like, now you've lost your powers, Superman.
I'm gonna not kill you.
Right.
I did think that the one thing that really blew my mind was how you are going through the level and then you kind of seamlessly enter that instanced area.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Did you play Destiny 1 at all? Because they do that same thing there.
Oh, do they really?
Yeah.
I never played. We played together, you and I, and
the beta,
Jamie,
I think,
maybe.
right?
Yeah, but I never played the actual game. But I was really impressed by how seamless the transition was. Was it always that well executed? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was something because that was the tech that really blew my mind. But yeah, I mean, it was a fun mission, and then the robot man was not really that fun.
No, that
he
robot
was really
was
awful,
dumb as shit.
Yeah.
That was to me in which I got to that point. I'm like, oh, still Destiny with dumb shit that I don't know what's happening. I'm just dying all the time. Okay. Now after 20 minutes, I understand it.
Yeah, and Jamie and I, we did it a couple times, and we got really close to winning both times, and then we just thought, okay, this is like 20 minutes of our life that we don't want to repeat over and over again. I don't understand the point of this. And I guess that's just because I don't really like MMOs, or I don't know.
Well, if you finished it, you would have found out that you can get one random piece of armor that does no stat boost, it just is a different type.
I can't wait to use that again in a repeat of the same exact fight, because that's all I can do.
So I actually, I played it through once with the Titan, and I was like, wow, neat. And then I did it again with a different character.
Okay. Which character?
I did the Warlock. Which is what I played when I played through all of Destiny 1, and kind of experiencing that second, or that new skill tree was kind of cool. And that's when I was like, oh crap, I need to go back and look at the Titan, because I didn't understand how the secondary skill tree worked. And the Titan secondary skill tree is so cool. You just become Captain America, where you can make this like bubble shield, but then you could turn your bubble shield into a Captain America shield and throw it at shit.
That's badass.
Yeah, it's really cool.
When you say skill tree, do you just mean special attack?
When I say what?
When you say skill tree, are you just referring to the special attack that you can switch between?
There's more minutia there, like you can change your grenades, you can change your melees, you can change your, like you said, your special attack, and like what kind of benefits you get, how you maneuver in the air, all those things.
Oh, I don't think I did all that.
Yeah, there's a lot there.
How come I didn't understand how like the bullets and the guns worked?
They changed it from Destiny 1. Destiny 1, I think, like, everything was all ammo-driven, so you could have a primary and secondary weapon, and there's primary and secondary ammo, and then special ammo.
That
In
still seems to
2,
be true-ish.
your primary weapon is always, like, a kinetic bullet. Your secondary weapon is always an energy-based weapon, and then your special is, you know, it's kind of the same thing, like special power weapon again. So it makes more, to me, it makes more sense in the second game that they did that. So you kind of have like two energy weapons.
The way that you just described it, it made a lot of sense. But like, how come they didn't spell that out? Like, I don't like.
Oh,
yeah, it was never clear to me.
You were away a few seconds, Jamie, and this game does a terrible job tutorializing the second layer. They tell you how to shoot stuff, they tell you how to maneuver, they tell you how to run around, but they do not tell you, like, this is why you would want to have this gun in this place instead of this gun.
Yeah,
or how come you're doing
sure.
no damage to this boss because his affinity changed, which is what happens in that final boss fight. Where if you have, like, a fire-based gun, you won't do damage to him anymore because he changes from fire to something else.
Yeah.
They also don't explain how to pick up ammo. They don't explain that ammo automatically grabs and that the stuff that you see on the field is ammo. But nowhere was that explained to me. I just had to figure it out, and I was very annoyed by that.
When was the last time you picked up ammo in a video game with a button press?
But it doesn't even tell you, like, it doesn't signpost that you're getting it very well. It doesn't surface that you're running low on ammunition. I felt that the UI did a very poor job of giving me that information and distinguishing
I
between the two ammo types.
I agree.
Griffin is floored.
But I had a lot of fun, and I
did
know.
too. Yeah.
Are you guys gonna play it? When is it out? It's out soon, right?
Yeah, a couple of months, I think, like October, November.
I probably won't play it, but maybe if you guys grab it, I would. But I don't know.
I'll play it.
Griff, you're gonna play?
Yeah, it's gotta do my shooter business. So
I'll think about it.
It's out September 6th. Soon.
Oh,
wow.
Dang it!
There's a lot of shit coming out.
Not ready for it.
August, September. Like, I feel like we're right on the cusp of a whole bunch of big releases.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm excited. How about that Metroid?
When is that Metroid coming out?
September 15, 6.
Is that the Metroid remake you're talking about?
Yes, the Metroid 2 one that I was a little worried about because it was Mercury Steam, and they made that really shitty Castlevania game, but it's supposed to be pretty good by all accounts.
I'll let you take that one. I'll cover Destiny.
All right. But no, I'm excited. I'm excited for that. I'm excited for Sonic. Excited for a lot of stuff.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah, you said you were hot for Sonic. What's going on with that, Jeff?
I've got it bad. I'm hot for Sonic. I just want to play it. It looks real good.
I agree.
They brought back Blue Sphere, and that's all I wanted in my life.
What is Blue Sphere?
Blue Sphere is the mini game for Chaos Emeralds that you play in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. And I'm the only person on planet Earth who likes it.
Okay.
I like Blue Sphere.
I'm the second only person on planet Earth who likes it. People hate that game, and it's like my favorite thing. It's the one, Griffin, where you are moving in like an isometric 3D world, and there's a bunch of blue and red spheres, and you have to collect all the blue ones. And if you collect them in a square, then all the blue spheres turn into coins.
I'm
Does
excited.
does it handle like shit, like all the other Sonic things?
God damn it. I have nothing to say to you.
No? Okay.
You guys play Pyre?
I did.
I'm not playing Pyre. Talking about Pyre.
What do you
I
think?
did. I played Pyre, and I beat Pyre today.
Holy
Oh,
shit.
damn. Tell us. Regale us.
Y'all should play some Pyre.
I love me some Pyre. I haven't put enough time into Pyre, but I want to play a lot more Pyre.
So I got like 3 big bullet points that I want to hit with Pyre. And first, it's very much a visual novel. There's a lot of reading, a lot of character interactions. So if that's something that you're like, reading in a video game, not for me, not my Pyre, then perhaps you should see your way out, sir. So be prepared for that. With that, though, I think that the pacing is actually very well done because you're just like, okay, I read a bunch. There's so much lore to ingest. There's so much lore to ingest. It's actually nice to play the game to get kind of a break from like all the reading, essentially, to just gonna be like, hey, video games again. And kind of the number one thing is, hey, that game is really fun. Like the Space NBA Jam is freaking sweet.
It's
like,
amazing.
I'm so surprised people aren't speaking more highly of how incredible the game, like the mechanic that they created for that game is. It's incredible. It's so much fun to play. There's so much strategy. It feels like there's like chess levels of play. It feels like there's fighting game dynamics where you're baiting and you're doing all these trick moves to try and get somebody to commit to something, and even just through regular gameplay you start discovering the nuances of it, and I love it. It's so much fun.
Really good difficulty curve and really good enemy AI. I haven't played that much, but I think that it's ramping up nicely for me, and I find that the enemies are smart enough to make it really interesting.
Yeah, they start out pretty dumb, but they about 2/3 of the way, or about a third of the way through it really picks up.
I remember playing multiplayer with Jamie at PAX, and I had a really good time with it, like way more than I thought I would. So I'm excited. Is there online multiplayer?
There's not, so that's kind of the biggest flaw of the game. Is there's no online multiplayer, but
Man, that's so
They
dumb.
said they weren't confident in their ability to get the netcode right, and I appreciate their candor and their
same here.
and their
Yeah.
acknowledgement of their limitations. At the same time, I really hope that because this game is successful, that they find the time to put that in.
Yeah. Well, as I was hitting the back end of the game, and my characters have more abilities, and like their auras are essentially covering like the entire map. These particle effects are causing major lag slowdowns in just the single player game. So it's like trying to deal with that plus uploading and downloading stuff through the internet. God, it's going to be a shit show.
Yeah, even on the PS4 Pro, the game chugs sometimes, which is surprising. And it's understandable because it is just visually striking. But but then again, it's entirely 2D. You would think that it wouldn't be as resource intensive as it seems to be, but who knows? I don't know anything.
But it's
about
also like it's critical that you are getting those button presses in. There's no lag. There's no delay. It has that same kind of like demand that a fighting game does, where you have to have that second to second reaction.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The kind of second bullet point that I wanted to make was It's kind of the thing that struck me was after playing like Persona 5, it's kind of the inverse of that, where you're doing like an inverse dating sim. So the premise of the game is you're kind of exiled into this hellscape, and you need to win these games in order to free yourself from this area. And in order, let's say, I guess there's mild spoilers here, so turn away if you so choose. Initially, you're kind of given the impression that if you win once, you're done and your whole group gets to leave. However, you find out that it's only one of your characters gets to leave each victory that you have. So you have to go and repeat these trials and these tournaments and stuff until you can, exit all your characters. Excuse me. The thing that the inverse kind of character sim, dating sim that happens is the more you use your characters in the matches, the more they level up and the more strong, more abilities they get and all that. But then they also interact with you in cutscenes and things more, so you get to know their backstories and who they are and why they're exiled and all that stuff. But then once you get to the end tournament situation, you are limited to who you can essentially let escape based on the ones you play the most. So it becomes this extremely challenging teeter-totter of, okay, do I want to keep this person around so I can learn more about them, or do I want to keep them around because they're really good and I really like their playstyle, or do I have this sense of compassion with this character that I want to use them and just let them escape? So in my eyes, it becomes this bizarre inverse situation of a dating sim where you, instead of wanting to spend more time with this person to learn more about them, oftentimes you're kind of pushing them away and honestly kind of treating it like a real relationship where you're I want to spend a little more time, but I want to push the boundaries because I don't want to scare you away, kind of a thing. So it does something that, after playing Persona 5, it's just a really cool opposite kind of a situation that puts that play with the understanding the characters in a brand new light.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think it's so fascinating that the people that you use the most are the people that are going to leave. And so you're not only losing them in the game because you're used to playing them in the actual game, you're going to lose them in the story as well. So advancing the characters through the narrative and making them stronger is so bittersweet because you're hastening them towards them leaving your party. It's so interesting.
Huh. Mm-hmm. That is very cool. Is there a fortune teller whom you can talk to and give in-game currency to in order to save them all?
No. I don't want to say any more about that because after finishing it, there was some hard choices, and like every Supergiant game, it's not. There's not a happiest ending, Jeff. I'm so sorry. There's not a way to achieve ultimate victory. If you really wanted
the
to,
S-ranking perfect ending.
There's hundreds of permutations of the way that you could end this game, and it's really cool. You could actually never win a match and quote unquote finish the game and play through all the trials. So,
yeah, I had read in some article somewhere that there is no good ending. So I was kind of prepared for that, but that execution is really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll have to check it out.
Yes, sir. And that was kind of my third bullet point is. The fact that you can continue playing, if you could restart a trial at any time to replay and win the match, but what's kind of interesting is that Fire Emblem mentality of I'm going to play this earnestly and not restart anything, because the negative consequence is you're not losing characters, you're not hindering your gameplay. It's just storytelling wise, how will this change? So if you so choose, you could definitely let the outcome happen and still get through the game. There's no fail state. There's a couple times where I was like, okay, let's just accept this defeat and move on, and I would love to replay it, but I also feel like, I need to lose some matches too, instead of just replaying everything to win.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. I don't know if I have the fortitude to let myself lose a match.
I'm the Fire Emblem player who resets if any character dies and starts over. Mm-hmm. So this is going to be a challenge.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a great game. It's I think $20 is what I paid for it, and it I think there's some talks of how it it kind of has some weird ramp-up pacing issues where it tries to get where it's going too quickly. And I definitely think that's short-sighted commentary, because once you get into the meat of the game, that introduction to all the characters that was the best choice to make, where you're just kind of rushing through the character collection moments, and it's not so much a like a Suikoden game where you're spending hours and hours trying to get everybody and fulfill all these requirements. Everything kind of it feels quickly at first, but then it makes sense after you start getting into the later part of the game that requires you to kind of repeat the process.
All right, I'm intrigued.
So back off.
Yeah.
Back off, blogs. You don't know. You don't know anything.
Yeah, I highly suggest Pyre. It's very good. Once again, a Supergiant game that is amazing.
I just can't get over the art and how the art reinforces the story and builds off the story, and the story builds off of the art, and everything is so cohesive. And the music, oh my god, it's gorgeous, and it's so integral to the game, and the music layers in such an interesting and subtle way, and really adds to. I mean, this is essentially you're playing Oregon Trail, but there's like such a sense of urgency and despair to it because of the music and the way that the narrative is written. And I didn't know this.
But there's also a ton of hope.
Yes, exactly. That's what makes it such like an interesting and almost agonizing space to be in while you're playing. And props to I couldn't believe that Greg Kasavin wrote all of it. He wrote the entirety.
He wrote all of it. There was so much in there too.
Yeah. Jesus, it's such a good game. So
They're great characters. They're fantastically well written and realized characters that put to shame a lot of modern video game trope characters. So I don't know. It's if you're okay with reading, then go for it. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And if you're okay with not trying to min max them, then play the game, experience it.
Damn straight.
The perfect S ranking game. How do you max your social links is my question. No, that sounds really cool. This just further reinforces that I should really play it. Maybe it'll break my spell of kind of like, I don't know what to do with myself.
And it's
Jeff, though, however, there is some manipulation of the game that you can do in order to, quote-unquote, experience all the lore. So just keep that in mind when you're playing. I'm just going to put that little earwig in there.
I think it will break your streak or your dry spell, Jeff, because it's the kind of game that it doesn't feel like a huge investment to play, and you can kind of jump in and jump out. And
but it also has that like one more bite, like just one more match kind of a thing going all the time.
Agreed.
Yeah. You guys have sold it pretty dang well, so awesome. Anyone else play anything else? Griff, I see you got Splatoon on there. Did you play
did you
more
guys
than I
not
did?
talk about Splatoon 2 at all? You guys not play that?
I played the tutorial.
I did not. I don't own Splatoon 2.
What the fuck?
Griff, I'll play it with you.
I'm the only one that spent about 6 hours playing Splatoon 2?
I just am not. Maybe it's Overwatch's fault. I just have no desire to play Splatoon 2. I'm open to being convinced otherwise, but I just have no desire.
Well, I was expecting to have a long, drawn-out argument with you guys about how I think Splatoon 2 is worse than Splatoon 1. So, that's not going to happen.
I think control-wise, it might be. So there's that. We can talk about it afterwards, though. I guess just
once you guys get some time in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will. I'll get some time in, and we can argue about it then.
Yeah, I'll just say my point is, and maybe once you play, you can keep this in mind. I think that there is a subconscious shift in the game towards putting more reward into killing other players than there is in painting the map. Splatoon 1 was pure in Splatoon, where it's just paint the map. And 2, there is a lot more emphasis on, maybe not direct emphasis, but a lot more agency awarded to the player in order to kill other players. So I do not like that about it.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, fuck the dualies.
It's interesting.
They are a little bit esports.
It's interesting because the critical reception has been so fawning. Like on every podcast I listen to, people just can't shut up about it. So it's interesting to hear that you're not as thrilled by it. Honestly, I've been waiting for someone to say that because it just doesn't look compelling to me.
Yeah, I think if, Jimmy, we probably listen to the same things, and kind of the rhetoric that I hear is it's more Splatoon. If you like Splatoon before, it's more of that, and they make some good upgrades here and there. And it's just more Splatoon. So
how's
yay.
Salmon Run though? Is that good?
What's that?
How's Salmon Run though?
I don't know about that because the game does a terrible job in surfacing anything to you.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too. It just seems so not user friendly. Like you can't change loadouts in between matches. You can't back out of matches.
I mean, hey, that was the same in Splatoon. So take that as you will.
I do want to try Salmon Run. Griff, do you still have it?
I do.
Okay. We should schedule some time.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Let's play some Splatoon. But yeah, just keep. I would say just maybe put that thought into your brain as you're playing it, and let me know your impressions next time. Where it's like, oh no, Griff, you're just crazy. You suck. Everybody's just killing you all the time because you're bad.
And Game of Thrones is a great show.
And Game of Thrones is a great show. Oops.
How do you feel about the server tick rate? Is what I want to know. It's like 12 hertz. It's actually hilariously low. But yeah. Anyway, that's too bad that it's not grabbing you, Griff. But you were not a huge Splatoon fan to begin with, right?
I was actually. I really liked Splatoon, the original.
I guess
I
we
just
did play
didn't
a lot
like
of
the
it
motion
together.
controls.
Well, that's because you don't know what's good and what's bad.
That's true. I don't watch Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I mean that pretty much settles it.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie, I see you've got something else on there. Was this
the whole Stein?
Was this a rig testing thing?
Was this a what?
A rig testing game?
No. I've just been super pumped for Wolfenstein, the new Colossus, and so I never played the Old Blood. I loved New Order, so I got
not more than Dragon Age though.
What?
Not more than Dragon Age,
No,
though.
not
Didn't like it more than Dragon Age.
I did not.
Can we just start adding footnotes for these moments? Like, to the viewers just joining us, there was a large dispute in the year 2014 over Game of the Year.
Asterisk, see the index, and read about.
Yeah, please reference podcast footnotes
Yeah.
to be made available in a separate recording for this segment of the show.
Corypheus actually makes a really cool cameo in the Old Blood. It's really interesting. You guys just really adds to his character.
I feel like you can't give a fair review of Dragon Age until you've played the Old Blood and witnessed Corypheus' cameo.
Who is Corypheus? Is he Toxoplasmosis Jones?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
The Old Blood is both interesting and infuriating. It's certainly not as good as New Order.
So I've heard.
And it's very odd, guys. It's like maybe the oddest first-person shooter I've played in a long time. It's so compartmentalized, and in each little compartment that the game puts you into, it's very clear that there's one like hook that you're supposed to be employing to get through said compartment. And it won't necessarily be just go in guns blazing and kill Nazis, which is what the entirety of the first game in this new in this revival of Wolfenstein was. This is more like, okay, you're in this hallway, and there's two enemies that you can't kill outright, and you need to switch these buttons off to kill them, and you're going to use your crowbar to do that, and you're going to do it in like this weird timing. And then it'll be that times 5, and then you'll be done. And moving on to a next section. Okay, now there's a dog, and you need to avoid the dog, and you don't have any weapons, and the dog's going to go on this loop. So memorize the loop and like dart around this way. It's so strange. It's like,
does it have like the what was it? The Escape from Butcher Bay, the perfect pitch dark kind of feel to it, where
It's black.
It's a lot of sneaky stuff.
it is a lot of sneaky stuff, but it's somehow not as fun as I would have hoped. It's not a bad game, and you can find it on cdkeys.com for like a couple bucks, which is how I got it.
The pirate site. I gotcha.
The good G2A, the not shitty G2A. You can find it there for not a lot of money, and I just, it's not giving me what I wanted, which is the Wolfenstein feeling, and
Right.
So it's not if you're thinking that you might want to jump into the Old Blood as a holdover until New Colossus comes out, I don't think this is going to scratch that itch, unfortunately. Yeah, that's all.
I should probably jump into the New Order as a holdover until 2 comes out, because I still haven't played it.
That game is so good. You need to play it.
Yeah. Regardless of how the New Colossus turns out, Jeff, you need to go play the New Order.
New Order, yeah. Yeah, it's on my list. It's just one of those things. I never get to it. And it's hot up here. Problem with PC gaming in the summertime. My loft is a freaking sauna.
Start water cooling your loft.
Yeah.
That's a great idea, yeah. Can I water cool my body? Can I attach like a large metal plate to my back and then just put some cold water on there?
There is literally a Linus Media Group YouTube video about how he water cooled a room in an attempt not only to cool his computer but also lower the ambient temperature of a room. And he literally water cooled the room, and it failed miserably.
It failed miserably, like catastrophic failure, and the room flooded, or it just didn't work.
No, like he water cooled his PC, and it cooled the PC, and he used a shitload of water, and the water like did not cool the room, and also it cost a ton of money because he was using all this water.
Gotcha.
He's the best.
And also, a small African nation is
Yes.
now just completely bone dry.
Oh,
I
man.
think that's the premise of the Black Panther movie. Actually, when that guy tries to water cool his room
That can't be right because
and bankrupts a small African nation.
only white people water cool.
That's actually
Yeah, like
whatever.
literally. Wouldn't be surprised.
Let's get out of here, guys. It's that's it for games. The only other thing I'll do is I'll drop this hot bomb right here. So I purchased Super Mario All Stars.
Oh yeah, I saw you playing that with Jen on one of her snaps.
Yeah. Mario 3 is not a good game.
Whoa.
What?
That's
What?
a rather
Put that out there.
bold claim to make. It's
Maybe
not
I should say it doesn't age well.
So it's not, in my opinion, World is better, but them's fighting words right there.
Well, World is better. As a person who plays World once a year and from start to finish, it's a superior game, hands down.
I mean, it is better, but Mario 3 is pretty dang good. Like Metroid, Metroid for the Nintendo is like a bad game,
Okay.
but Mario 3 is pretty okay.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Like you're getting closer to the supreme existence of Mario and 2D World, which is World.
You're a bad man.
No,
Why don't you go and eat your wing with no sauce and then dip celery into it, you goddamn Midwestern
my-
monster?
dip this tanuki tail in this ranch dressing. Yeah, it just struck me. I was playing it there, and I'm like, this is not great.
It's the cool thing about Mario 3. So I think that it's got some like it's showing its age a bit, but it's the first Mario game that feels like whimsical and inventive in the way that Mario is kind of known for being now.
You're absolutely right in that before then there was Mario, and then there was the Lost Levels, which was 2, and
Yeah.
then there was Doki Doki Panic, which is super bonkers, bizarre only American version,
Yeah.
and then 3. So, the list of games that you had in order to compare Mario against itself was very short-lived at the time.
Yeah, but like I feel like that sort of cemented some of like the
I would say that
core
the
tenets of
American
what Mario
2 is the craziest of the crazy.
It's crazy, but it doesn't have the sort of creative whimsy. Like I would describe 2 as like acid trip, and also not technically a Mario game. And there's a lot of stuff that came from 2 and made its way towards future entries. But I think 3 is the one that like I would, in my mind, kind of cemented those core principles of Mario, like creativity and weirdness and like giant levels and small levels and
Yeah.
I don't know,
Exploration. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I agree with you.
So
I'm just saying, at the time, you essentially have Mario, and then way better Mario, which would be 3. Which so you've got you left right Mario, and then you have way more intelligent designed left right Mario.
I
All
agree.
That multiplayer mode is all right. Played it with Jessica a whole bunch. We had a good time.
Nice.
Yeah. back in the day. Except I played mine on my modified Wii because I'm a dang dirty pirate.
Gross.
But I did own Mario 3, so
Nice.
I think I still own it. Yeah, so I'm not that bad.
I'm sure you purchased it a couple times through the Nintendo Virtual Console.
Probably.
Yeah.
So.
You're owed it.
Exactly. I deserve it.
That's right.
As Joe Consumer, I deserve great things.
Right. Well, speaking of deserving great things, let's move on to some topics of note. So it's been a while since we've talked last, and some things have happened. I put some bullets down here, which are kind of stupid. But you know, did you guys see the Ready Player One trailer? Are you familiar with that?
Yeah.
Does that mean anything to you?
I started reading
watch
Ready
it.
Player One, and I couldn't finish it, but I thought it was interesting enough. And I did watch the trailer, and I saw a bunch of euphemisms and allusions in it, and I don't know. It doesn't excite me as much as everyone else seems to be excited.
I own the book and I have not read it, but I did see some tweets quoting entire pages where the guy talks about what media he's consumed. And I'm like, oh, that's weird. I guess this is Murakami, too.
I really liked the book. I read it twice, and I'm surprised that people are poo-pooing the trailer so much because of its like irreverence to pop culture media. And I get the thing where they're like, oh, it's a future where there's no more culture except for previous culture. But, I mean, come on, just got to set that aside.
I have not watched the trailer.
Oh,
But I know people on the internet didn't like it, but I have not watched it. But I'll check it out, see what I think. Didn't
That's
it
about it then, I guess.
come alongside another trailer that people liked a lot more that was also
Came out
80s?
in Comic-Con, so yeah, there was like the Thor trailer and
But like another
the
80s
amazing
trailer?
Will Smith movie that I want to see really bad called like Sunshine, which is Will Smith in a freaking Shadowrun world where there's orc cops and
Whoa.
like fancy
Xenu?
elf politicians.
Alien soul catchers?
Not familiar with that. Is that a Destiny thing?
It's a Scientology thing.
Oh, okay.
What's going on with Lyft and Taco Bell, Griff? Why'd you put that on there?
Well,
I know about the Mulan
I put
sauce.
this on here because I don't know if this is like something you guys noticed either, or if this was just like a pipe dream. I saw like a teaser trailer for Lyft partnering with Taco Bell, which will allow your Lyft, essentially like your direct call independent owner cab, to come pick you up. But then also so the trailer was super nondescript, where it's like Lyft is partnering with Taco Bell to give you Taco Lyft, and it's like, okay, well, so what does that mean? To me, that means three things. One, it could be you call Lyft and Lyft delivers you Taco Bell. That's pretty cool. Two, you call Lyft and they deliver you to your house, but they'll make a pit stop for Taco Bell in between. Or three, the best option. You call Lyft, and they arrive at your location where you need to be picked up with Taco Bell.
I think in Summit you can get an Uber for $1 anywhere in Summit.
Yeah,
Isn't that a
because
thing?
they pay.
Because there's no parking.
What?
There's no parking or something?
There's no parking, and like the city has no idea how to handle it. So like,
Is it also because Summit is like the square mileage of one football field?
yes.
Little known fact, it's actually more expensive than it would have been if you just charged regular rates.
Definitely.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope it's taco delivery. I mean, that is the future. That'll be the precipitating event for the death of all culture, and then Ready Player One will happen. I did know about the Rick and Morty Mulan sauce, though.
Yeah.
I can't believe they had Mulan sauce.
That show's pretty good, guys.
I should watch it.
I should watch it.
I should watch it while Game of Thrones is airing, and then live tweet myself watching it.
Let me tell you, there's 3 seasons. Each episode is about 20 minutes. It's totally doable. And it's
Hulu,
actually
though.
good.
I hate Hulu. I stole my friend's Hulu. Well, I was gifted my friend's Hulu, and those ads, man, they're so long.
Yeah.
I would pay
watched
for
it
Hulu
on the
myself.
Adult Swim app, and it's pretty miserable there, too.
Yeah, I'd pay for Hulu myself if it weren't for the ads. Like, I would have no problem slapping down $10 a month. But ads, so many ads.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Rick and Morty, good stuff.
all right. Griff, are you buying both Persona games? That's what I want to know.
You know it, baby.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You didn't play Persona 3, did you?
No, I didn't. That's why I'm really curious about this. I'm so surprised that they're going to put out 2 disparate games, 2 separate games. Will they be cartridges or will it be download only? Like, I'm excited to see how this shakes out.
I'm sure it'll be. It'll just build the lore. It's all part of the plan.
Oh yeah, baby.
This will tie up all those loose ends.
What are all the furries of each individual world doing at the moment, and how can they interact with each other? And will Persona 4 characters be in there as well?
Hopefully. God willing. Hopefully they just bring back that 9-year-old. There aren't enough young children for me to watch dancing in Persona 5. Oh, there is that little boy, voiced by Ash Ketchum. Or wait, no, it's not Ash Ketchum.
You're on your own there, buddy.
You know the little boy. Shinya, the arcade man?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, who's really good at Galgun or whatever.
Yeah, really good at Galgun.
I don't know what game it is. Did you guys level up his social link, or no?
I don't think I got it up all the way. I think it was like about half.
Yeah, me
half
neither.
mast.
Same.
Okay. His was alright. They're all about the same. So it's like, my family member and or immediate acquaintance is possessed by the bad thing. Oh no. Except for Mishima. His was cool.
How dare you
Mishima's was cool.
besmirch the good name of Persona 5.
I like Mishima's because you don't actually kill the shadow. And that was cool. Alright, anyway.
No, it's fine. It just took me a while to think about who Mishima was.
Same.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
No, that was a good arc, true.
Yeah.
Too.
I got nothing else for news, though. Has there been any other big happenings? I feel like my engagement with games blogs has been pretty low recently.
There's been a ton of bullshit that, I put this list together like a month ago, honestly, so there's been some things that aren't worth really talking about, like the Dota card game that's coming out.
Oh, yeah, that's happening. Nick Robinson getting fired, which I don't think we should go into.
I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah,
no.
it's unfortunate.
Wait, he got
on
fired
every
or
level.
he got suspended?
I will
He left.
He's
done.
Put a block on this right now, and we will not talk about it. We can talk about it offline.
Okay.
Griffin will not allow
No.
any kind of...
I will not. No.
Those things happening here.
Nope. None of that.
Otherwise, yeah, nothing too noteworthy. In my cursory scanning of GAF as we got to here, apparently Taro Yoko may be the only reason Platinum still exists right now, per Hideki Kamiya, which is pretty rad.
Really?
Yeah. So cool. Makes me really happy that...
Kamiya is out of Platinum, right?
No, he's still part of Platinum.
Okay. I thought he left for some reason.
Nope. He's still there.
I thought it was a bunch of Capcom people left. They made Platinum, and I thought a bunch of them left Platinum as well.
They may have, but Kamiya is still there because he Dragon Disc Man was his baby. Scalebound.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So it just makes me happy that that I feel like a weird storyteller found his home with a weird action game maker. both of whom were hurting in one form or another despite their immense potential. It's the feel good story of the year.
Absolutely.
So but
Jim,
otherwise,
did you finish Nier yet?
No, that is something I should definitely do. I find that I often say I should really play that game, but then I feel like I want to just like have a chunk of time where I'm not playing anything else and just like devote myself completely to it, because I think I still have like 30 or 40 hours to go there if I want to see all the endings and everything, and I think that's what I would want to do. Like, I don't want to play it piecemeal. I want to like go whole hog and see everything and see all the endings, because it really seems like just one playthrough, I don't think that I would be impressed at all. Like, I didn't really like the combat. I like the music and certain aspects of the story, but I feel like I just want to give that game its due, and I want to make sure I have the time for that.
As Master Splinter said, every great journey begins with one small step.
It's true. It's very true.
I know that feeling well, though, Jamie. I completely get that.
Yeah.
You do definitely owe it to yourself, though, to give it a chance, because the combat kind of bounced off me at first, but you get used to it. It's not like, I wouldn't write articles about how great it is, but it's definitely good enough for what the game is doing, and the story has enough hooks that I think you'd you'd stick with it.
Yeah.
So.
I went through I go through phases with all my consoles. I don't know if you guys do the same thing. So I'll start playing, for example, Horizon Zero Dawn on the PS4, and then I'll fall in love with the PS4, and I'll be like, I just want to play PS4. I'll play PS4 to death, and then I moved on to Switch, and I was playing Cave Story on the Switch and a couple other things, and I played the Switch to death. Now I'm obsessed with my PC because I just water cooled it. So now I'm playing a bunch of PC stuff, and I think that the next one I'll go back to PS4. So what I do. Because I want to finish Pyre, because Pyre's incredible. So I think when I'll finish Pyre, and then I'll do it. How does that sound?
Perfect. I'm the same, Jamie, except throw in the original DS and also virtual or emulation of Super Nintendo games, and that's me.
Still got that Nintendo's Twitter account notification on, so I can pre-order that
Get the
thing
SNES?
when it
Yeah.
comes out. I'm such a consumer whore.
I'm gonna soundboard that right there and just use it at appropriate moments.
Good.
You guys ready for Agents of Mayhem coming out shortly?
Nope.
What is that?
It's a team-based spoof, I think, or is it team-based?
I think it's single player. I don't know.
A single player.
It's
It's
like
a shooter
the group
version
is
of-
a team.
It's a version of Saints Row, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's from Deep Silver, very much like a spin-off of Saints Row kind of a thing. So
Looks cool.
yeah,
I'm looking at it now. I could.
does it?
There's an article on Kotaku named 5 Things I Already Love About Agents of Mayhem, which clearly has a slant that it's working on me from giving it a quick once over. But I don't know. Does it not look so good to you guys?
I just don't care.
It looks like to me it looks like a last gen game. Not visually, I'm saying, but structurally,
Gotcha.
Go this pseudo open world, go complete missions, yeah, yada yada yada. It's Saints Row, but it's not as charming.
See, I just want reasons to play my Switch, like Sonic.
Yeah.
Sonic.
I'm really looking
Yeah.
forward to that too. I can't wait, man.
He's the fastest.
See, I think I'm gonna win in this
alive.
situation outright because I am not looking forward to the new Sonic, but I'll probably buy it.
And you'll probably like it.
And then I will enjoy it the most because I dislike Sonic the most.
You'll be like, I've never played the Chemical Plant Zone before. It's pretty good, actually.
Actually, if Sonic Mania turns out to be Sonic Spinball, then oh hell yeah.
Sonic Spinball is the fucking bomb.
It is the best Sonic game ever created.
I don't know about that, but it is
Nope,
great.
that's a fact.
It's actually horrible to control, but I love it.
That's false.
Okay.
In the scale from Sonic to Sonic, it is one of the best controlling Sonic games ever.
Have you beaten Sonic Spinball ever?
Have anybody ever beaten any Sonic game ever?
Yes. Jamie
Nope,
and I beat
that's a lie.
Sonic too,
That's
every
false.
time he comes to visit me.
Nobody ever does that. You're trying to tell me that there's more than the Green Hill Zone.
Anyway, I had heard that apparently Christian Whitehead had pitched Sonic Mania as a completely original game, but Sega asked him to do mostly remixes. I guess the split is supposed to be about 60-40. So it makes me excited for potentially further work within this engine on new Sonic material, which makes me very happy.
Are you saying remixes in levels or in musics?
In levels.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't know.
No. The music is, I think for a lot of the remix levels, the music is very similar, maybe with a few new beats added in and stuff. But the levels, there's a lot of rehashed levels with new elements. Same worlds, different levels.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
The first act
Yeah.
seems to be replaying, and then the second act seems to be reimagining, which I find is a really cool and compelling mechanism for this to deliver this new Sonic game.
Yeah. Pretty strong homage, Act 1, and then... But Chemical Plant looked pretty out there. There's a lot of new...
Yeah.
There's, a new fluid and, new DNA chambers and shit. So, it'll be pretty wild.
Yeah.
I'm all about it. Tuesday.
I can taste it. You know what it tastes like?
Well, I'll be excited to. I would be very excited to hear your impressions of Sonic when it happens. What will it taste like?
PC liquid cooling liquid.
Chili dogs! Chili dogs!
Chili dogs, yeah, that's better.
Yes.
We
Anyway,
we wrapping up?
Let's
think
wrap it
so.
up.
all right. You want to
So this has been Boss Bell Radio. Thank you, everybody, for listening and speaking and enjoying. I've been Griff Hoffman, Jeff Brewer.
Hello. I mean, goodbye. Whatever.
I've
do you
been
have-
James Scherer, and I will.
Do you have
be
any
James
topics
Scherer.
you would like to just, anything you want us to do? Any bets? We haven't done bets in a while.
Yeah, let's do bets.
You guys want to wrap it up with any bets?
How about bets on? Well, we already talked about what we think we'll think of Sonic. What else could we
Okay.
bet about?
Before we next get together, what's going to happen?
Yeah, in about 1 month, what we'll be seeing.
Well, we'll be at nuclear war.
Ooh, I got a good one. Okay, our tried and true go-to. What will the Metacritic rating be of? Which will be higher, Destiny 2 or Sonic Mania?
I'm guessing Destiny 2 will be a solid 74.
No, just which one will be higher?
Sonic Mania will be like an 82.
So are you saying Sonic Mania will be higher than Destiny 2?
I don't know, am I? Why don't you do the math, Jabroni?
Jeff, I don't want you to weasel out of this. You're going to weasel out of
I
it.
agree.
No, I'm
with
not.
Jeff, that Sonic will be higher than Destiny, and here's why: all the people who love Destiny and who are going to review Destiny 2 are expecting Destiny endgame Destiny level content out of Destiny 2, and it's just not going to be there. And I feel like that will hurt its score a little bit. And I feel like
Also, didn't Destiny get like mid-60s on Metacritic?
initially,
I don't know.
I think just forever. I'll check. You guys keep talking.
I will not just because I dislike Sonic universally.
Dislike
I
Destiny.
think that Destiny 2 will outrank Sonic Mania. Destiny 2 will outrank Sonic Mania in the
Destiny
Metacritic rankings.
has a 76 for PS4.
but I mean, like,
FYI.
Maybe we should say the aggregate score of all Destiny will outweigh the Sonic Mania aggregate score.
Of all Destiny? Holy shit. Including
Destiny
the
2.
PS3 version? Oh, wait. Okay.
The PSP version, yeah.
The PSP version. I forgot there was a PS3 version of Destiny, guys.
Yep. There
Dang.
sure was.
User score 4.5. Ouch.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Remember that split gen?
All right, lock it in. Lock it in. So Jamie and I say higher, Griff says lower.
Yep.
All right.
sounds
Lock in
good
the
to me.
bets.
We'll see you next week. Who's going to have to eat the smelly shoe of shame?
Who's going to have to munch on a
who's
week
gonna have to drink the PC cooling liquid?
Anyway, all right, guys. We're calling it done.
We're calling it done.
It's done.
All right.
Turn the oven off. This one's done.
All right. Talk to you
Stick
guys
a
later.
fork in it.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.